Good morning. It is week 7 of marathon training. Can't believe it. And last week went well as also. Week 6 went fantastically, and week 7 wasn't too bad as well. This week I increased my weekly mileage a little bit, my weekday, I guess I should say weekday mileage, and I added in speed work, which was very, very exciting. Coach Brian was very excited to hear how speed work was going to be when I added it in. So let's see, early in the week I was supposed to have a 5-mile run, 6-mile run speed work, 5-mile run during the week. And because of some work overlap, I actually did my speed work first, which was fine. So I did my speed work first and actually didn't time it particularly correctly because I only had 5 miles. But what it was is it was supposed to be 2 miles warm up, 2 miles cool down, 2 miles of speed work in the middle. So I just only had 1 mile of cool down. But the speed work went really, really well. What I did is, like I said, 2 miles of warm up, and then 2 miles in the middle were 1/4 mile speed bursts. So I would run basically an 8-minute mile pace for a 1/4 mile, walk 1 to 2 minutes, and then keep doing that for 2 miles. And it was really interesting that the 8-minute mile speed bursts, those 1/4 mile speed bursts, didn't tire me out as much as I thought they were going to. Like, I thought I was gonna be dead by the end of it, and I really wasn't. So I know that I'm increasing my speed, and that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. And so then midweek I did a 6-mile run because another 5-mile run. And it was really funny because I looked down at my watch, and after doing the speed work, I looked down at my Garmin for the first half mile that I ran out in 5 miles, and I was at an 8:30 pace. I don't know if I thought I was still doing speed work or what, but let me tell you, that quickly went right down. I still maintain a 9.5 minute mile average, which is excellent for me. So those 5 miles went well. Then Friday I did 6 miles, and my Garmin did something funky during the first mile because it said I was running a 7.5 minute mile, and I know that's not right. And at the end of it, it said at the end of the mile, it said I'd still done under a 9-minute mile, and I know that I hadn't. And I looked down because I kind of now know at home where the mile markers are. I have a good indication of how far the mile is, and it's clocked in at a mile, probably I don't know, 1/10 of a mile, maybe shorter than it should have been. So I think that it had some trouble with signal when I started. So I made sure that I recouped for that at the end, but started off a little too fast during the 6 miles. And it had been a long week. I was really tired, so that didn't help. But I still a 9:45, I think, average, which, hey, I can't complain about that at all. And Saturday I had a work event, and we got up really early and worked hard for most of the day. And I was out in the sun, had a nice sunburn. So then I didn't sleep well on Saturday night because my sunburn on my face just felt like it was on fire. And so Sunday morning I got up early to run, and I'll be honest, I just could not get myself moving. And it was supposed to be 14 miles. And I told myself, okay, keep an eye on the clock because we did have to leave on Sunday morning. And I said, keep an eye on the clock, see how far you can go. First 3 miles, not pretty. You could tell I was tired. You could tell that my legs just didn't want to move. My hip was bothering me, which my hip has been bothering me just a little bit this week. I'm getting some active release on it because I know that'll help. And Coach Brian gave me some stretching and strength training techniques, so I think I'm going to work on that too. So, my hip was bothering me a little bit, and I just kept telling myself, if your hip obviously gets worse, stop. And that was completely my plan because I do not want to, push through pain that I know I shouldn't be pushing through. And about mile 3.5, 4, I hit my stride, and all was well in the world again. And I was hoping to get 12, but unfortunately cut my time way too close and had to stop at 10. But I was getting faster as the mileage was going, which made me feel really good. And, those 10 miles, I told Bailey when I got done, I'm like, man, I felt like I could run a lot longer. And I love that that's how my week ended. That really made me feel good. So, I technically didn't, miss my weekly mileage by 4 miles, but the good news is that this next week is going to be identical to what last week was. So, I'll be able to get those miles in. But, it's going well. Did try to work on the fueling a little bit better. It was just a crazy week, so that didn't help. But I think I'm getting a better handle on it anyway. We'll see as my mileage starts to increase. This week will be a little bit different because I will be, let's just say the womanly issues started this week, or this weekend. So we'll see how that goes. Usually I get really, really bad cramps and do not want to go outside and exercise. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm glad I'll be able to communicate that as well, because that's obviously something that women deal with. So we'll see how it all works out. I'll let you know how the active release goes. Usually active release 1 or 2 sessions and I'm good. So I will work on that as well. Been wearing the compression socks a lot just to keep my muscles, keep them from getting too tight. And I'm excited. Half marathon's coming up in a couple weeks. I need to make sure I put more hills in, just because I know there's hills from like mile 8 to 10 during the half marathon. So I want to make sure I put those in too. But for the most part, things are going really well. Thankfully, we've been having cool weather. That has been fantastic. I'm able to get out in the morning when it's quite cold. And that's been nice. That's helped a lot. Just my speeds come back, you could tell, because it's been cooler. So, and I've been working hard towards it. I don't want to diminish that at all. I've been working towards my speed, absolutely. So, week 8 is upon us, and we'll see how week 8 goes.